Is she really going out with him?
Okay, good evening again, and welcome back to the Unleashed series of interviews we are doing pushing this year's Pentrefest. We have been racking through a few now, and I'm really glad to have our good friend Geordie from Miserable Sinner with us tonight. How are you, Geordie?
I'm spot on. Always happy to speak to you, Beany, you know that.
And you're looking smashing tonight as well. You know, with your Pentre hat and the guitars in the back as well. You're looking at every bit the metal god that we know you are.
This shirt, you know, it's quite a special shirt. You know, you don't see many of them around there. Black and red techie shirt.
So what we're going to do tonight, Geordie, is we're going to talk about Miserable Sinner. I know you got a story about how you got the name. So do you want to go through that and tell us that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it goes back to when I was at high school. High school, is that what they call it now anyway? Comprehensive school up in County Durham. Those who follow me and friends with us on Facebook from school, I'll recognise the name. Well, Wallace, Mr. Wallace was his name. He was a hell of a big bloke, massive beard for the time. He was just like, if you remember, can you remember Bomber out of If We're the Same Pet?
Oh yes, yeah.
Bristol. He was like, and nobody messed with him or anything like that. He was a rugby player, he played for Durham Wasps. And of course, he took all the naughty boy classes and all that kind. I'm not saying that I was a naughty boy, but what I am saying is that I wasn't up in the top bracket of pupils for me intelligence anyway. But anyway, he took different classes with students that couldn't really be handled in any other classes or were kind of struggling. And he did things like rural studies and things like that, where he just took us out and dug a piece of ground over for 2 hours and then called it education. But anyway, it wasn't education because he taught a lot of the lads how to play brag and pontoon and all the bad things in life. And but anyway, coming back on it, he had a massive booming voice. And if you got on the wrong side of him, you knew about it. But he used to walk into the class and get everybody's attention by shouting, "You miserable sinners!" And he'd slam on top of the desk, make a hell of a noise. And of course, everybody just was instantly captivated. And I just, it stuck with us over the years, you know. It's, you know, he was scary as hell at the time, but, you know, I don't know if he's still alive or anything like that, but I wouldn't mind actually meeting up with him because I bet he was into his rock music and all that kind of stuff. And you see all these people walking around with the big beards and that now and everything. He was the one. He could have been in Mastodon. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, I just it kind of stuck with us, and for you know, I've kind of shouted it at people from the stage when I've been with Bad Earth, kind of to you know as part of the audience participation. You know, it gets a bit boring shouting, you know, motherfuckers or all that kind of stuff, you know. It's nice to shout something else that's a little bit different. And Miserable Sinners was the thing that I took from Mr. Wallace. And of course, moving on now to me kind of satisfying my own itch, I suppose, and doing stuff on my own. I thought it was a good name to use because I'm quite a miserable sinner as it is, actually. You know what I mean? People know us being a little bit, never mind, bit down. I'm not really, you know what I mean? It's just a kind of, it's a face I put on. But yeah, I just thought it was a good name, so I took it and I'm using it. I don't know if it is anything. Is it out of a book or something like that? I'm not quite sure. I'm sure somebody will tell me.
I find things like this, Jordy, they're best with what you make them. You know, it's like, you go back to one of the biggest bands when I was a kid anyway, was Corn, and that's just a crap name, isn't it? They made the name something, so it became Corn. Now, Miserable Sinner is you, and that's what it'll always be for me now. So, and obviously, hopefully, you can claim it even with your old school pals as well.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's just something that links to me past a bit, and I don't have many fond memories of school, to be honest with you. Well, it's just I don't have many memories of school much at all, really. It's a weird thing. I just didn't fit in there, It's I think not wanting to get on a high horse or anything like that, but I think some people are just not right for school at certain times, and they do all their learning once they get out of that environment, and that's kind of, I mean, I've done okay in my life, and I've always worked, and the very things that I thought I wasn't very good at school have actually turned around to be something that I'm reasonably good at, So I don't know. I just think my days at school were a little bit wasted, a little bit. I can't remember them, to be honest with you. When I talk to some of my schoolmates, not that I've got many schoolmates either. The funny thing is, I never went to school, the same school as all the people that I knocked around with outside of school. They went to a completely different school. So all of the lads that went to my school were always from towns miles away. So it was a bit of an odd one, that. I never got to the bottom of why that was the case. But anyway, there we are. That's that. Enough about that, eh? A long time ago.
Let's get back to the music, because that's what we're here for. So, I mean, first thing, I know I spoke to you quite a long time ago about occasionally filling in and doing acoustic sets and things like that, and then during COVID, you and Ren did some acoustic stuff to keep us entertained during the COVID times. So tell us a little bit about them. And I seem to remember you making Cruel God into, was it Cool Cats or something? Or
well, hey, it was a crazy time, that COVID, lockdown, tried everybody into blooming meltdown, didn't it? Hey, it was just something to do. I mean, you were locked away. You couldn't do anything else. You couldn't get together with anybody. So everybody was doing it. Everybody, literally everybody, all the big bands were just doing these crazy videos where they were playing at home and they were mushing them together and putting them out. And I thought, well, for my own sanity, I'll just record some stuff on my own, because I had access to our practice rooms. Whenever I wanted, really. And so I just went in there and I kind of did some acoustic stuff. The thing is, most of the songs back then for Bad Earth were all written on acoustic guitar. That's where I got the riffs from. It was just I guess it's all country blues sort of riffs, I mean, even if you go back and you listen to the likes of Black Sabbath and all that, they're all we all know they're just blues pentatonic riffs, and so it just kind of, for me, sitting down with acoustic guitar and coming out with a riff just kind of sounds nice, and then you relate it onto a electric guitar, and it works out that way. So for me, sitting down during lockdown and going back and playing these songs on acoustic guitar and filming them, and then sending them off to Ren and saying, "Hey, Ren, put some drums or something on this," and him getting the old cajon out and the big bongo thing, whatever it is. And I mean, he had all kinds of blooming percussion instruments sitting in his house, he is very bohemian. He won't mind me saying that, because he is actually bohemian. But yeah, and it kind of come together quite well, actually. Some of them tracks are quite funny to look at, and I do laugh a bit about them. But like Cruel God, I mean, yeah. Well, it just put a different slant on the song, didn't it?
Well, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was one of the reasons why I did actually put a bit more pressure on you post-COVID to actually, Geordie, have a go at this. So what actually made you change your mind and decide that you were going to give it a go?
Well, about when I first moved to North Wales, I got heavily involved in a local open mic night. It's called Plug and Play. And I just started off going down there as a punter, watching people getting up and playing, having a go. You know what the open mic nights is like. Frank knows all about that as well. It's just standing up and having the guts just to play 3 songs, whether you wrote them yourself or whether they're covers, whether they're good, bad, or whatever. It's a million times better than karaoke because it's actually somebody having a go at playing an instrument live. And whether they're bad doesn't matter. It's the fact that they're getting up. And I remember sitting watching these people getting up, some of them very, very talented musicians. I was just sitting watching drinking a pint, and I just thought to myself, I fancy doing this. I've played guitar for years and years. I've recorded at home for years and years. When I lived abroad, down in the basement, I had a little bit of a project studio going on just for my own amusement and everything. And I'd written a few songs then, and I got the inspiration to get up. So one night, I got up down at this open mic night, and that was it. I was hooked. That's all I wanted to do. And the whole thing went through over a couple of years. It kind of transformed a bit because it went from being what's called a plug and play kind of thing. I kind of wanted more than that. I wanted to take it a little bit further. And of course, when you're up there and you're playing like sort of, I don't know, rock standards, and you've got musicians in the audience, you could have a drummer there, which we did, David Cartwright. He was sitting there and I just thought, what a shame they're sitting there and they're not able to participate really. So anyway, the fella who ran the pub had a drum kit in the garage, and I asked him, I said, do you mind if I bring it out and just set it up? And then I put a bit of a backline on, so I had a little bass amplifier, and I brought electric guitar down. And of course, all the kids, they weren't interested in the acoustic stuff. They really wanted to have a go at playing in a band. So it turned out to be an open mic night for bands. And that ran for about 3 or 4 years. But over that time, things got a little bit political. And it became more and more of a drag trying to do that thing, trying to organize it, basically to be a promoter, and it lost its way a bit. I mean, everything runs its course and eventually it kind of dies a death. But anyway, I just thought to myself, well, I really enjoy this jamming in a band sort of thing. I'm going to go out and I'm going to see if I can get a band together and go out and go around the pubs and clubs and whatnot. And so that's where it went to. And I kind of left the acoustic side of things behind. I went more into the band thing and the rock, then the hard rock, then got into the metal thing. And, I think we covered this in the Bad Earth interview. With Ren, the drummer, the original drummer, we were in a covers band and we were playing the usual shite that all the cover bands play. It started off where I wanted to do classic punk, and but then it got into playing Kings of Leon and Stereophonic. No wrong with that, but every fucking band plays them, don't they? Yeah. Sweet Home Alabama. If I hear that song one more time, I'll cry like. But anyway, we did that. It killed Ren, and Ren just said, "I'm not having this anymore. I don't want to do it." And we went our separate ways. And as I say, I said in that interview, after a little while, we weren't speaking until we bumped into each other when we were walking the dogs. And I just said, "What are you doing? Anything now? Are you playing?" And he said, "No, no." I says, "Well, I'm not either. And I says, why don't we explore this, playing our own music, writing our own music? And that's what we did. That's a different story. Don't want to cover that here now. But, you know, I kind of left the acoustic side of things behind, which was a shame, really. I wish I'd kept it, because playing acoustic guitar, for me, and the way that I play electric guitar, it improves everything about what you play. You know, I'm not talking about fingerpicking. I'm talking about like what I do, and that's busking. Really, it's like sort of. But I play percussive rhythm on an acoustic guitar. I'm not one for doing all the little finger picking styles and all that kind of stuff. I can do a bit of it, but what I like to feel the guitar vibrate. You know, the acoustic guitar, when you're banging it hard, it takes on it has a certain feel about it. And when you get it resonating, it feels really good. And playing acoustic guitar really does improve your rhythm, and you kind of you're playing your electric playing, especially in a 3-piece band, where you know you've got to try and keep the full sound. You've got the drums and the bass, but you need to have that. You've got to do the full chords and all of that kind of stuff as well. So, you know, getting that rhythm going along with it, because you're the rhythm guitarist and the lead guitarist as well. So it helps with that. So, you know, as I said, during lockdown, it kind of inspired us to pick the acoustic guitar up again. And of course, they're electro-acoustic guitars now, aren't they? So, you know, you plug them into a PA system, and you can put effects on them and all that kind of stuff as well. So, you know, it's become interesting to me. But probably jumping ahead to a question that you would probably want to ask us is, well, why have I decided to do like sort of the miserable sinner thing? Well, the acoustic guitar thing, what I've just explained, is one thing. But, you know, a band's a difficult thing to keep together. Everybody who's ever been in a band will know that it's a hard thing to do. You've got, especially when you get, like, it's all right when you're a kid and all that, you've got nothing else to do. You know, but just, you know, you're 16-year-old or 17-year-old, you just want to be in a band and all that kind of stuff. But when you get beyond that, and maybe you're in relationships and you've got like kids and family and all kinds of stuff, it's really hard to get everybody to be at the same place at the same time all the time, and then going out gigging. And with Bad Earth, we're no different from any other band like that. You know, I'm lucky I'm kind of at the other end of my family thing with the kids. My kids are all grown up. You know, I got grandkids now, like, and it'll not be long before I got great grandkids. But, you know, it's kind of, for the other two lads, it's hard for them because they've got young family and whatnot. So when Bad Earth was the original lineup, we were practicing twice a week. We'd go anywhere, we'd travel anywhere, we'd do it because Ren didn't have young family. You know, Rob at the time, he didn't have any family. And so it kind of, to take a step back from that when the two lads joined, it was, I found myself like sort of at a loose end. It was kind of, well, what, you know, I've got to find something here to keep me going, and something that I can do on my own that it kind of runs alongside the Bad Earth thing. So I decided, I just thought, well, I kind of forced the lads to do something they can't commit to, because I'll just split the band up if I try to do that. So the best thing that I can do is figure out something that's going to satisfy my itch, what I said before, very itchy. And just so that if we haven't got any gigs, if we can't commit to any gigs, then I can just get in touch with guys like you and say, hey, fancy putting us on, I'll open up, I'll do whatever. And then I'm participating as well, aren't I? You know, I'm not very good at just being an observer. I always like to be involved in some kind of way. Hey, settle down.
I mean, you basically did just, you asked yourself the next question I was going to ask. So, and to be honest, Shorty, when you're when you're talking like that, because the way you talk with an authoritative, with authority, and you talk with passion, and it's lovely when you hear people talk like that. So I'm just if you get on one like that, I'm just going to let you roll with it, because of the way you talk and the way you express yourself. I think it's fantastic. I am going to change the subject a little bit now, though. Still talking about the acoustic stuff and things like that. Now, the songs. So, how do you pick? Because I'm going to assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're going to play some of your bad air stuff acoustically, but you're also going to do some covers as well.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
how do you pick what you're going to do?
Well, I gotta like the song to start off with. I mean, my own songs. Obviously, I choose the. I have to be careful because we've got the Pentrefest coming up shortly, and Bad Earth are actually playing twice on the Saturday. So we're playing an electric set and an acoustic set. So we're trying to balance out and share out between the two, between Miserable Sinner and Bad Earth. Who's doing what? Because people are going to be sick of seeing us anyway. But hearing the same songs again is going to be a bit. I love the different versions of it, I suppose. But we kind of, for my own stuff, I'm looking to see what we want to do as a band, and then I'll pick some of the ones out there, the ones that work really good on acoustic guitar. But as for the covers, well, I kind of like it when I'm not into covers that much, but if I am going to listen to covers, I like them to be I like them to be interpretations of it. I don't like to hear just like sort of, a song done exactly how it's done on a record or whatever. For me, why do you need that? I'd like to stand and watch somebody. I'll tell you who the classic case of it, Ed Case. Now he did some songs, and and he puts a twist on them. Songs that you wouldn't think would suit him or whatever. He takes them and he does them. I think he did Zombie. I think one of the Pentrefest last year. I don't particularly like that song. I don't like the what are they called? The band that did the original. I'm not particularly into them, and it irritated us, that song, actually, when it came into the charts. But when he sang it, it was just immense. It was fantastic. Mm. Everybody sang along with him as well, which I got chills down my neck and everything. And he does a few other songs like that. And I just think that's a fantastic thing to do. It's so much more interesting for me anyway. So anyway, taking a rock song that's kind of might be a standard and just playing it on acoustic guitar kind of changes its dynamics a little bit anyway. But then I'm not great at singing covers anyway. I've got a very unique way of singing. And it's only good for my own stuff. I can only sing like me. Some people get up and they can belt out songs and it sounds great, but I'm not like that. I struggle with that. I can only sing stuff that I can my own stuff really. So you're gonna have that difference in a song as well. But also it's gotta be fun as well on it, eh? You know what I mean? So the songs that I do pick up, they're very rarely the serious songs or anything like that. I mean, I got pulled last time. I think it was you that pulled us actually. You turned around and you says, Bon Jovi. What you but I didn't sing it like Bon Jovi. It's a song that's a different kind of way. And another one, what was the other one? Oh, Bruce Springsteen. The songs are good. They speak to me, so I'm going to have a go at singing them, and I'll sing them in my way. And they might be slightly different to the Bruce Springsteen's version. I mean, I'm not a Springsteen fan. He gets on my nerves as well, like he does on everybody's nerves. But I think when you take a song and you kind of make it your own a little bit, then that's fine. I think that works okay. Hopefully everybody else does, and I don't see everybody migrating through to the bar at Pentrefest. I'll shout at them if they do anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, Geordie, that's amazing. Listen, thank you very much for your time once again. I know we've been a bit jittery about getting you on here and stuff like that, but I made up I am because I love giving you the forum to just talk. Because you're a brilliant man to listen to. And thank you once again for your time.
Quite shy. I get lost for words quite often, you know. It's
Well, listen, we are going to have to wrap this up because we've only got a few minutes left and it'll just shut off. So, thank you, Geordie, one more time. Looking forward to seeing you and as Miserable Sinner and Bad Earth at Pentrefest in a few weeks' time. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you very much for everything that you do. You do a good job, lads. This is Miserable Sinner coming up with Blaze of Glory, cover of Bon Jovi's great hit, done in a slightly different way. Hope you enjoy it.
In the morning and I raise my weary head. I got an old coat for a pillow and the earth was last night's bed. Don't know where I'm going, but only God knows where I've been. I'm a devil on the run, a six-gun lover, I'm a candle in the wind. When you brought into this world, they say you were born in sin. Well, at least that gave me something I didn't have to steal or have to win. They tell me that I'm wanted, yeah, I'm a wanted man. I'm a call in a stable, I'm okay, what's the able, Mr. Catch Me if you can. Going down in a blaze of glory, take me down, but know the truth. I'm going down in a blaze of glory. But Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. I'm a devil's son, call me your God. You ask about my conscience, well, I offer you my soul. You ask if I grow to be a wise man, I ask if I grow old. You ask me if I know love, and what it's like to sing songs in the rain. Well, I see love come, I see love go, I see it die in vain. Shot down in a blaze of glory, take it down, but know the truth. I'm going down in a blaze of glory. But Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. I'm a devil's son, call me your God. Your God. Each night I go to bed, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. But no, I ain't looking for forgiveness, but before I'm 6 foot deep. Let I've got to ask a favor, and I hope you'll understand. 'Cause I've lived life to the